I want to now welcome back to the show Darlene Kababel. She is the president of the Colorado Wolf and Wildlife Center. Welcome back to the show, Darlene.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Darlene, a few years ago, we interviewed a gentleman who rescued wolf-dog hybrids, and he was very strongly against that practice of breeding them or creating them. How big a problem is wolf-dog hybrids these days, and does the center have a position on them? And, to me, these individuals, irresponsible individuals, if you ask me, who want their dog to have a little wolf in them, it's really fraught with risks, isn't it?
It can be, and that's a topic that is... It can be very controversial in so many ways, and our stance pretty much is wolves should be wolves and dogs should be dogs. And the reason for that is because so many problems. A lot of people have problems sometimes owning just a domestic dog, let alone owning one that may have some wolf in it, and then it starts to have some wolf behavior, and then it gets out of control, and then that person or that family can't take care of that animal for whatever reason, and now they need to find a home for it. And the problem with finding a home for it is, first of all, if they do take it to any shelter, and you open your mouth and say, I have a wolf, and you use that word wolf dog, wolf hybrid, within 24 to 48 hours, they usually will euthanize that animal, because a lot of states, a lot of counties are not allowed to adopt them out for one reason or the other, depending on where you're at. And a lot of people call them wolf hybrids. That's actually an incorrect term. It's actually wolf dog, because a hybrid wouldn't technically be able to reproduce. So the proper word is a wolf dog, but a lot of people do call them wolf hybrid. So I'm going to relate to them as a wolf dog, and it is estimated at 250,000 that are born every year. 80% won't even reach their third birthday, and there again, the reason for that, because some people can't deal with them for one reason or another, and like I said earlier, they take them to a shelter or they try to find a sanctuary. The problem with sanctuaries is every single sanctuary in the United States is full beyond capacity, and I mean, look at your dog rescues out there,
right.
and your shelters and your humane societies and non-kill shelters or whatever, they're full because we have a lot of, unfortunately, irresponsible people in a disposable society to where they can't, they don't, something happens in their life and, just give it away or take it to get rid of that problem and life goes on. And so many wonderful, wonderful animals that are euthanized every single year because somebody didn't take the responsibility when adopting that animal, buying that animal, whatever. So with the wolf dog, it is very popular because a lot of people like to own a piece of the wild. Or if you look at the wolf dogs or the wolves, they're beautiful, majestic animals. So sometimes people want to have that little bit of wild, next to them. You can buy these animals anywhere from a few hundred all the way to a few thousand, depending on who the breeder is and how much money they want to make out of it. And I've seen such exotic mixes that's like, oh my gosh, that animal's been extinct for, that buffalo wolf for X amount of years or whatever, but the more exotic that they can put a title on it, the more money they can make out of these animals. The only true way to really find out if your wolf dog has wolf traits is to do a DNA test. What happens is, say if someone does get a true wolf dog, has a lot of wolf behavior to it, I'll raise it as a puppy, and it'll become a house dog. It's still a wild animal. That's the problem. And then all of a sudden, now you've got this vicious animal, and then the wolf gets a bad name.
Darlene, just like having an exotic animal as a pet, I feel it's unfair and almost inhumane to have a wolf dog hybrid as a pet. I mean, you just don't know how much internal confusion, if you will, these animals are experiencing. They have wild characteristics. They have domesticated characteristics. They must experience some level of confusion as to what they are and how they should behave.
You're so right on that. If it's still part wolf, truly part wolf, they need space. They need hiding places. They have instincts that you're taking that away from them, right? And it is that too. They can become neurotic. You'll see them to where they do neurotic behaviors because they're stuck. They have no natural, mental stimulation, and without that, that is cruel.
Yeah, it's bad enough that we have these breeders out there breeding purebred dogs and design designer dogs at a time when our shelters are at maximum capacity and at a time when we're killing 5 to 6 million dogs and cats every year in our country's shelters. So now we have these same sort of selfish individuals breeding for profit, creating an animal whose genes are a mixture of wild and domesticated, and we're creating an animal that we're really not sure how content or happy their lives will be. And as you mentioned, many of which will end up being relinquished to a shelter where they will automatically be euthanized, or they'll just be abandoned or dumped. Darlene Kvabolf, president of Colorado Wolf and Wildlife Center, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks.